Okay. Now who can tell something about default constructor? Who can tell something about default constructor? Yes, Anubhav.
Yes, sir. So when we doesn't assign any constructor by ourselves, then Java
Yes.
means Java defines a default constructor which takes the values as means according to the data type of the
Yes, which provides default
object
value for the data members on the basis of data type.
data type.
And it's not Java, it's the JVM. Okay.
JVM. Yes.
Yes, yes. All right, all right. So all of you understand? Okay. Now who can say what is no argument constructor? What is no argument constructor? Yes, Gyanaranjan?
Sir, the constructor having no parameters.
Yes, the constructor defined by the user and is not taking any parameter, then that is called as no argument constructor. Very good. Very good. Now unraise the hand. So now we will start from the point where we have left. We have completed no argument constructor. We have discussed this example class person. Okay. Now let us go for parameterized constructor, and let us discuss the parameterized constructor with the help of an example. I will explain this example. In the meantime, if you have any doubt, just raise your hand. If no doubt, then I will ask one student to explain this code. Okay. So I have defined a class called employee. One data member is name of type string, and second data member or the instance variable is EID, that is employee ID of type integer. Then I have defined a constructor. This is a constructor. Why? Because the name of the method is same as that of class name. But I found that this constructor takes some parameter. This constructor takes two parameters, one of type string, one of type integer type. Why two parameters? Because I found that in the employee class there are two data members, name and EID of type string and int respectively. That's why I have taken two parameters of the same type as the data members of the class, and I am using this n to initialize the data member's name. I'm using the ID to initialize the data member employee ID. So up to this, any doubt, just ask. Up to this, any doubt? Okay. So just remember what is parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor means a constructor which takes some parameter, then that is called as parameterized constructor. So then the next member method, that is showData, no need to explain. This is used to display the data members of the class in the console. Therefore, employee name is name, employee ID is EID. Then the parameterized constructor, this is the class name that we have considered. So that means I can say that the file name also parameterized constructor because it consists of the main method. And inside the main method, I have created one object reference E1. I have allocated memory. This statement is very important for the parameterized constructor. I have allocated memory in the heap area for the object, but remember in the bracket I am passing two parameters because whenever the object is created, constructor is called. I found that there is only one constructor, that is employee, which takes two parameters. So I have to pass two parameters while creating the object. So any doubt in this statement, raise your hand. Any doubt? Okay. So then I can say that E1 is the object reference. Memory is allocated for the object in the heap area and the constructor is called. Then corresponding data members for that object is initialized as name equal to Biswa and employee ID equal to 394. Okay, then the method E1.showData is called. So it is going to display the corresponding data members for the object reference E1. So it is going to display employee name is Biswa, employee ID is 394. So any doubt in the code for the parameterized constructor, raise your hand. Any doubt? Okay, so now who can explain that code? Raise your hand. Okay, in the meantime, one student will explain, and others please write down the code in the copy. Okay, we will not waste the time. So other student kindly write down the code in the copy and try to understand. Okay, so let me explain. Let me ask someone to explain the code. Okay, Sukanya, Mister. Yes, Sukanya.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, this is a class employee. Then two data members are. Sir, can you show the code?
yes.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes. The code is not visible.
Yes, sir. Now visible.
Okay.
Two data members of data type string and int name each. Then the constructor employee. Then string n and int id. The constructor takes two parameters. Then name equals to n and eid employee id equals to id. That is n using n to initialize the name of the employee. Then void show data, it will display the employee name and employee id. Then public class parameterized constructor. Then the main method, in the main method employee e1 equals to new employee Viswa 394. So here the object reference is e1, so the object reference is allocated in the stack and the memory is allocated in the heap area. Then the two parameters are passed, Viswa and 394. Then e1 dot show data, so it will display the employee name is Viswa and employee id is 394.
Okay, very good. So now just all of you unraise the hand. Time is the 2 to 3 minutes. I will wait up to 12:15. Write down the code in the copy, and after completion, raise your hand. Okay. So I will wait. Very small code. I want that you must write the code in the copy, and while writing, realize each step. And if you have doubt, then ask me. Because after completion, raise your hand. I will ask some student to show me the copy, whether they have written the code or not.
Sir,
Yes, yes, ask.
sir, we know that constructors are called automatically, but if we call using it, again we will call like using the object, it will again call twice.
So how can we call? Can you mention that?
So, like e1 dot employee.
So let us check. If I will call here, is it possible? E1 dot employee employee, and let me pass two parameters. So one is ipsan, okay, and let me pass the second parameter. Let's say 230 employee. Is it possible?
No, sir.
So the method employee is undefined for the type employee. So this is automatically invoked. All right.
Okay, sir.
So 1 to 2 minutes more. So quickly write down the code in the copy, and after completion, raise your hand. Four students have completed. Okay. Okay. So now let us go for another code, but before that, let me ask to show me the copy. Okay, Vishal Singh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just show me the copy.
So I've done it on system. So
Okay,
can I share
very
the
good.
screen?
Yes, 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 definitely.
So is it visible?
Yes. Yes, very good, very good, very good. All right, all right. Okay, so stop presenting. Okay, Payaswini. Payaswini, have you completed? Okay. All right, all right. So all of you understand now. Yes, Aswata understand. Yes, Sukanya understand. Okay. So now let us discuss another code. Let us discuss another code. So who can explain this code? Raise your hand.
Sir, please present your screen.
Sorry, sorry. Okay, so who can explain this code? Raise your hand. And assume that the comment line is not the comment line. You are going to explain the code, but assume that this comment line is not the comment line. Okay, you have to consider that as a statement. All right. Okay, Aditi, explain.
So here first in the main method, product pi equals to new product. So it is a default constructor, and it will invoke the default constructor that is from the JVM,
Okay.
where p name equals to null and price equals to 0.0.
Very good.
Then product p2 equals to new product chocolate and 150. So it is a parameterized constructor.
Okay.
So it will invoke the product string n double p, where p name equals to chocolate and price equals to 150.
Okay. Very good. Very
Then
good.
it will display p2.show data. So output will be the product name is chocolate and the price of the product is 150.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So who is agreed with Aditi? Just unraise the hand, and who is not agreed with Aditi, raise the hand. So all are agreed with Aditi. Okay. So that's why. Okay, Ifsan, you want to say something?
So I think that with the amplifier, the P1, so please show me the code.
Yes.
That line 20, that one, I think that will be an error.
Why there will be an error?
So because there is no parameter in this one.
So if there is no parameter, JVM can provide default constructor.
Not sure, sir.
Not sure. Okay, very good for your attempt. Okay, so let us discuss that point. So we have discussed now what is parameterized constructor. Okay. So a constructor that has parameters or arguments is known as parameterized constructor. So when we create the object of a class, we have to provide the values for the instance variables in order to invoke the parameterized constructor. If we want to initialize instance members of the class with your own values, then use a parameterized constructor. So this is very simple. And before that, let us try to understand the concept that what what is going to happen in the presence of parameterized constructor if I'm not going to provide any values. Okay, this one is very important. All of you try to understand. So whatever Aditi has told, that is not correct. Whatever Ipsan has told, that is correct. If I will not provide any parameters, JVM has not the ability to call the default constructor if the user has defined any constructor. Remember this point, very important point, that if user has given any constructor, JVM has not the power or the capability to call the default constructor. That's why, although first JVM is searching for the product, JVM found that one parameterized constructor is there, so JVM is not going to call the default constructor. That's why it is going to show the error. So the constructor product is not defined. I have not defined the no argument constructor. It is showing the error because the constructor that I have defined, it takes two parameters and I have not provided any parameter. That's why it is showing the error. So any doubt, raise your hand. Yes, Jyotish Ranjan.
Sir, please repeat. Due to network issue, I was not unable to hear.
Okay, all right. Let me explain again. If the user has defined any constructor, it may be the no argument constructor or it may be the parameterized constructor. Okay, if user has defined the constructor, JVM has not the capability to call the default constructor. Okay, so whenever I have created the object reference P1, I am trying to allocate memory for the object. So JVM is searching for the constructor product, whether it is defined by the user or not. JVM found that yes, one constructor product has been defined. So JVM cannot call the default constructor. That's why this statement is the error. Any doubt? Jyotish, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So this statement is not going to work because this is the error, because the product is not defined by the user. But if I will go for this one, this is just I have passed two parameters. So parameterized constructor is going to be called. So therefore the P name will be initialized with the chocolate and the price will be initialized with 150. So whenever I will go for P2.showData, what will happen? It is going to display, the control will transfer to the definition of the showData and it is going to display the product name is chocolate and the price of the product is 150. So any doubt in the code, raise your hand. Okay, if no doubt, then who can explain the code, raise your hand. Yes, who can explain the code, raise your hand. Okay, Prince, explain the code.
Yes, sir. Sir, the program starts from the line 21. Here, constructor is invoked, parameterized constructor, and we have given the parameters chocolate of string type and 150 of double type.
Okay.
And then in line 22, P2.showData, function showData is called. At the time of object creation, the constructor provides this chocolate and 150 values to the product constructor, where P name equal to N and price equal to P. So P name gets the value chocolate and price gets value 150.0.
Very good.
And when we call showData function, it returns the P name and price.
Yes. So all of you write down that point. All of you understand the hand. All of you write down that point in the copy, and if you have written the point, then raise the hand. Listen carefully first. Let me explain the point again. Then all of you write down the point in the copy. If user has provided any constructor, then JVM cannot call the default constructor by its own. All of you write down this point, very important. If user has provided explicitly any constructor, JVM cannot call the default constructor by its own. Have you all written the statement or still any doubt? Aditi, have you written the statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just after writing this statement, write down this code, okay, and just in the comment line write here, it will show error because JVM cannot call the default constructor. Okay, so time is again 3 minutes, and in the 3 minutes time, all of you write down this code. But very important, in the comment line write this statement and write here JVM cannot call default constructor, so it will show error.
Sir,
Yes, tell.
sir, like anonymous object, we can also invoke anonymous constructor.
Okay, that we'll discuss. That we'll discuss. After completion, just raise your hand.
Sir, can you repeat that point about constructor once?
So the point is, if the user has given a constructor explicitly, then JVM is not able to call the default constructor by itself. So 1 minute more, quickly complete, and then we will discuss the next concept. Okay, Abhinav, have you written the code? Abhinav? Okay, just show me the code. Show me the code. Okay, fine. So, but remember that while writing the code, do not write SOP. Okay, write complete system.out.println. Do not write SOP. Okay. All right. So all of you understand now. So now, who can explain this code? Raise your hand. Who can explain the code of class demo? Raise your hand. Yes, only one student. Okay, 3, or I will ask someone to explain. Ayush Verma?
Yes, sir.
Ayush? Yes, Ayush, can you explain this code? Just try. I will help.
Okay, sir. Sir, in the main method, demo d1 equals new demo, but it will show error because it cannot, JVM cannot use default constructor automatically.
Yes.
And demo d2 equals new demo 5. Then it will initialize the rnum. It will initialize the rnum equals to 5.
So it will initialize the data member var equal to 5. Yes or no? Var equal to num.
Sir, we have passed 5 in num. Then var
Yes.
equals to num, and then
So,
var
yes.
equals to 5.
Yes, very
Then
good.
system.out.println value of var is 5.
D2 dot get value. This is the method. So whenever this method is called, control transfer to the get value
Return
method,
var.
and it will return var. That means it is going to return the value, that is 5. So output is value of var is 5. Are you realizing now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, same concept that the JVM is not able to call the default constructor because the user has explicitly mentioned one parameterized constructor. Okay, so just look at the reason. Okay, mute your audio. Very good. So the reason is the statement demo d1 equal to new demo will invoke a default constructor which we do not have in our program. When we do not implement any constructor in our class, JVM will provide the default constructor into the program. If your program has implemented any constructor, then JVM will never provide its default constructor to your program. In the above program, we have implemented a parameterized constructor in our program. So the compiler never provides its default constructor to a program to execute the statement demo d1 equal to new demo. Okay. So now let us go for another concept. Okay. So we have discussed about the default constructor provided by the JVM. We have discussed about the no argument constructor. We have discussed about parameterized constructor. Let us discuss about the copy constructor. Okay. So copy constructor means, just try to realize, a constructor can take reference of its class as argument. That means if I am saying that the constructor, that is the method, is going to take the object reference as the parameter. Look at here. This is the constructor because the class name is cricketer, but it is not taking, it takes parameter, but which parameter? It takes the parameter of the object reference of the same class. That's why then it is called as copy constructor. Okay. So remember again, like normal member functions, a constructor can take reference of its class as argument. This type of constructor is called as copy constructor. So copy constructor is helpful when we want to copy an object to another object. So like C++, Java also supports copy constructor, but unlike C++, Java does not create a default copy constructor if you do not write your own. Okay. So let us try to understand the code of copy constructor. Okay. So let me explain this one. Then if you have doubt, then raise your hand. Then after that, I will ask some student to explain the code. So a class cricketer is defined. It consists of 3 data members or instance variables. One is name, team of string type, then age of type integer. Then I have defined a constructor that is called as no argument constructor. In the no argument constructor, I have created one scanner class object, and then I'm asking the user to enter the name, team, and age, and the value of name, team, and age is entered through keyboard. Then I have defined a parameterized constructor. So this cricketer parameterized constructor takes 3 parameters, that is string n, string t, int a, and name is initialized with n, team is initialized with t, age is initialized with a. Then this is a constructor which takes object reference as the parameter. Okay, so this is called as copy constructor. Then I can say name will be equal to what? Name will be equal to c.name, team will be equal to c.team, and age will be equal to c.age. Then normal method, that is show data, that already you know about this. It is going to display the data members of the class. So the name of the cricketer is name, the team of the cricketer is team, the age of the cricketer is age. Then we have defined a class copy constructor which consists of main method. Again, I have created another scanner class instance. Okay, scanner class object reference. Then cricketer C1 equal to new cricketer. One object reference C1 is created. So I have not passed any parameter. So the default constructor is called. Whenever default constructor is called, control transfer to the default constructor. So just simultaneously let me run the code. It will be helpful. Okay, so whenever the default constructor is called, it is asking for enter the name and enter the team and enter the age. Let me enter the name as MSD. Let me enter the team as let's say India, and let me enter the age of MSD, that is 39. So just look at here. So I have entered the value with the help of a no argument constructor. Okay, so this is called when? This is called whenever I have created the object and the object reference C1. Then I have called C1.showData. So control will transfer to the showData method. What will happen? It is going to display the name of the cricketer is MSD, the team of the cricketer is India, and the age of the cricketer is 39. Then I have created another object C2. Mark here. I have created one object reference C2. I'm allocating memory in the heap area, but I'm passing parameter as the object reference C1. That means for the object referenced by C2, the memory will consist of name as MSD, team as India, age as 39. Why? Because the data members value of C1 is going to be copied with the data members value of C2. So if I will call C2.showData, it is going to display again the MSD, India, and team. Okay, now just look at here. After pressing the age, what happened? So it has displayed the name of the cricketer. Just look at here. It has displayed the name of the cricketer is MSD, the team of the cricketer is India, the age of the cricketer is 39. This is for the object reference C1. Okay, the C2 has copied the value from C1 and C2.showData. This is for the object referenced by C2. Okay, then what happened? So then after this, again the prompt is displayed, that is enter the name. Let me enter the name as ABD. Okay, and enter the team. So let me enter the team as South Africa. Okay, and enter the age, and the age of ABD is 37. Let me enter the age. Then what happened? I have called, I have created another object reference C3. I have called the parameterized constructor. I have passed the name, team, and age. When parameterized constructor is called, then what happened? So control transfer to the constructor having the parameterized constructor, having the parameters, and the name will be initialized with ABD, team will be South Africa, age will be 37. So again, C3.showData, it is going to display that value. Cricketer C4, new cricketer C3. Now the object reference C4, that means the object is copying the value from another object C3, which has initialized the value of data members by the parameterized constructor. So C4.showData, it is going to show the output that is shown by C3. So let me press enter. Just look at here. The name of the cricketer is ABD. The team of the cricketer is South Africa. The age of the cricketer is 37. The name of the cricketer is ABD. This is for the object reference C4. The team of the cricketer is South Africa. The age of the cricketer is 37. So definitely I can say when to use copy constructor when we are copying the object value of one data object, copying the data members of one object into another object. In that case, we are going for the copy constructor. So any doubt, ask now. Yes, Nimesa.
No, sir.
Okay. So any doubt? Okay. If no doubt, then who can explain the code? Raise your hand. Okay, Sambram.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, explain the code.
Yes, sir.
In the meantime, all of you write down the code in the copy. This is a long code. Okay, write down the code in the copy. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Start.
First, define the class that is cricketer and the data members that is string that is name, another string that is team, and then int for age. Now we have defined a non-argument constructor that is cricket, and in that we have defined the scanner class within reference SC is equal to new scanner system.n, where we will take the input from the keyboard, and that is we will take the name as name is equal to sc.nextInt, and the team sc.nextInt, and the age sc.nextInt. Then in the second part from line 20 we have defined a parameterized constructor which string n p, string n and t, and int a. The name is referred as n, team is referred as t, and age is referred as a. Now we have defined again a constructor which has the object reference as cricketer C, which is the copy constructor, which will take name as c.name, team as c.team, and age as c.c. Then we have defined the member show data, which will show the data of the objects. Now we have defined the main method where scanner SC1, we have defined another scanner object, that is SC1 is equal to new scanner system.n, and cricketer C1 is equal to new cricketer. Here we have invoked the constructor which will now take the data and show the data for C1.showData. Now,
so this is going to call the no argument constructor.
Yes, sir. Which will we have to enter the data from the keyboard.
Yes, very good.
Which will ask the enter the name, enter the team, and enter the age.
Okay.
And then we have defined another object that is cricketer C2, which will copy the data of C1.
Very good.
Through the constructor, through the copy constructor.
Okay.
That means if we execute the command from 42 to 45, it will show two times the name of the name we have entered first. That is, in the example you have given MSD,
yes,
India, and 39,
yes,
and that is C1, and that will be printed again as the object of C2. That is
very
MSD, India, and 39.
Very good, very good. Then
we have and then we have started another argument to enter the name for SC1 and the team name and the age. it has been referred to it has been used for constructor object C3, which will take the cricketer name, team, and age. And when we used it in line 53 for show data, it will show the data that has been entered from the keyboard for the object C3. In the line 54, we have used another copy constructor in the name of the object C4, which will copy all the objects of the data C3, and it will show the data entered in the C4 in the line 55 C4.show data.
Okay. So just all of you write down the code. Okay, write down the code in the copy, because but very important, while writing the code, just think what you are writing. Okay, do not blindly copy from the screen. Okay, just realize what you are doing. So we have used here three constructors. One is default, that means no argument constructor. Second one is the parameterized constructor. Third one is the copy constructor. Okay, so we have used the three constructors, and just I have shown you that copy constructor can be invoked for the object which has been called, which has been used the default constructor or the no argument constructor, or that can be used for the object which have the parameterized constructor. No issues with that. So quickly complete the code, and if you have completed, then raise your hand. Then we will move to the next concept. Ishandeep, have you completed?
No, sir, just 2 lines.
Okay. Those who have completed, they have to raise the hand. Gyanaranjan, over.
Sir, last line.
Okay. Similar type of code. Okay. So if you have realized, then you can easily write. Prince over. Prince. Bhavani over.
No, sir, just freelance.
Okay. Virendra over. Virendra.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Nimesha over.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 1 minute more. Sanskar over. Sanskar.
Yes, sir. Writing last line. Once again.
Okay. So let us go for the discussion. Okay. All right. All raise the hand. Who can say the answer to this question? Only those students have to raise the hand. Okay. All of you understand. Yes, Aditi. Anything you want to ask? Okay. So just tell me whether it is true or false. Can a class program consist of only one type of constructor, that is copy constructor? No other constructor? Is it true or false? Let me repeat the statement again. Can a class program have only one copy constructor, no other constructor? Is it true or false? Yes, Rohan.
False.
Why?
Sir, because there is no constructor given means there is no other constructor given by us. So from where will it copy, sir?
Yes, excellent. So if we will not mention any other constructor like a no argument constructor or the parameterized constructor, then from which object we are going to copy? Okay, because JVM is not able to call the default constructor because we have mentioned explicitly one type of constructor. That's why if we copy constructor, definitely we have to go for another type of constructor. Okay, so any doubt in this statement, raise your hand. If no doubt, then unraise the hand. Any doubt? Aditi, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so now we have in this code we have used one concept, okay, that you already know. Can anyone say what is the concept we have used in this code? Can anyone say what is the concept we have used in this code? Yes, Anubhav?
So it's method overloading.
Okay, Prince?
Sir, copy constructor.
Okay, Aditi?
Method overloading.
Okay, Isandi? Yes. So this is something and we call it as constructor overloading. Okay, why? Because the same constructor name cricketer, but the number of parameters are different. So that's why I am saying that we have used the concept of constructor overloading. So now who can tell what is constructor overloading? Raise your hand. What is constructor overloading? Yes, Aditi?
So constructor overloading is a method where for class name which is having the same name as the class name but different parameters.
Yes. So I can say that if the same constructor is used many times based on the different number of parameters or the different types of parameters, then it is called as constructor overloading. Okay, Isandip, you want to say something? Okay, okay, all right. So now so we have completed this code. So we have the idea about the constructor overloading. So let us go for this code. So now who can explain this code? Raise your hand. Who can explain this code of constructor overloading? Raise your hand. Yes, anyone? So the class name is triangle and we are overloading the triangle constructor. So who can explain the constructor overloading of that code? Yes, Isandip.
So, sir, the program starts from the main function.
Okay.
And when an object is created and memory is allocated, then it calls the default no argument constructor.
Yes.
It is constructor 1. Then that for object of t1 base equals to 7.2, height equals to 9.4.
Okay.
Then it returns to the main function t1.area.
Okay.
Then it goes to the area method. Then it prints the area of the triangle is 0.5 into base into height, the value of that.
Okay.
Then another object is created t2 and the parameter is 6,4. Now the parameterized
It is 6.4. It is 6.4, not 6.4. It is 6.4.
Okay, sir. 6.4. Then the parameterized function with one parameter is called.
Okay.
Then base equals to height. So that is height equals to p.
Yes.
So the value of base and height will be p 6.4.
Okay.
Then it again returns to the main function t2.area. Then it goes to the area method and then again prints the area of the triangle is 0.5 into base into height. Then then again the new object is created t3 with two parameters 5.6 and 8.4. Then it goes to the constructor with two parameters double a and double b. Then base equals to a and height equals to b. Then it returns to the main function and t3.area is called. Then the area in the method and the area of the triangle is 0.5 into base into height. So this method of continuous calling the constructor with different parameters is called a constructor overloading.
Very good, very good. So this is the concept that we have discussed. This is nothing but called as constructor overloading. Why? Because the same constructor name, but having different number of parameters. Here no parameter, here one parameter, here two parameter. Such concept is called as constructor overloading. Okay, so it's the time now. We will stop and just go through the code, practice in the system. Then only you can realize. And if you are facing any difficulty or getting any error, then just tell me in the next class. Okay.